Okay, how you doing? We're back for another one. I've got another discovery in my hand. Yay. Where's my funky book? There it is. Alright, so I just quickly wanted to start off here as opposed to somewhere else so I could show you something. This is the scribing tools that should be up here, alright? But I've run out of ink, okay? So instead of having to make a new one, we'll just grab some ink. And all you do is you put this in a crafting grid with an ink sac and it refills it. Okay, so that's just so you know. Alright, so I am going to continue with my researching and stuff like that. I'm getting through bits and pieces. I've done all of the basic information ones. Yeah. And just slowly making progress. Alright, so what was that? That was this one. So now that's appeared. That's a new one that's appeared. This is one I can buy. I don't have the right stuff. And if you look at it, the one on the left is flashing. What that means is that that's the one that I'm short of. So I'll need to go and make more of that Aurum stuff. And once I've got 9 of those, then I can buy this. Okay, so on with research. It's a long road. I'll get on with it. Okay, so the research is progressing. Okay, you can see I've got nothing else happening here. Now, if I go and look at my book, right, you can see, yeah, this is all pretty straightforward. Thaumaturgy, you can see we've got a lot more stuff that's appeared on this tab. And it's all completed. Alchemy, once again you're looking at the... Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, this is a warp effect. Basically, everything goes foggy, and a monster comes to get me. He's not here. Is he in here? He's not here. Is he upstairs? He's not upstairs. Is he outside the door? Where is he? Where the monster? Where the monster? Oh, come on. Now that's really annoying. Is he down here? Doesn't look like it. Oh, that's annoying. I can't find the monstie. Alright, let's just despawn the guy. It does get very foggy. So we'll go up to about 200. Okay. That should be it. Alright, so anyway, back to where I was. Downstairs in my Thaum room talking about Thaumcraft. Okay, so loads more stuff in here that wasn't here earlier. Artifice, once again, Golemancy. Lots of stuff to do with golems, and we'll spend a bit of time looking at all the different golems. I have a new tab called Eldritch. Now, you only get this tab... Oh, and I still have a couple of things that haven't appeared yet, but I'll deal with that. Eldritch, the whole tab only appears when your warp gets high enough. So all of the things that I've been, sort of like this one, the Forbidden Knowledge, doing that makes your warp higher. You know, we go down here and there should be another one. Yeah, here's one. Mostly harmless, mostly harmless. Mostly harmless. What do we got over here? Taboo. Yeah, so that's one of the top level warp gaining things. So after a while, after doing enough of that sort of stuff, you get an Eldritch tab, which has got my perception expands. I get night vision. Wonderful. You'll eventually get this, which allows you to, you know, you need it for some of the awesome stuff, which we'll deal with later. That's all done. Thaumic tinkering, we've got loads of crap in here. You know, and all of the others, they're basically all done, apart from like a couple of things on the Eldritch tab which don't count. On Thaumic tinkering, down in the bottom right hand corner, once you've completed all of the research, you know, except for the Eldritch tab, because you might not have high enough warp or whatever, this one appears, Ichor. This is the last thing to research. Now, the Ichor and Ichorium stuff is the highest level stuff in Thaumcraft. So yeah, you can tell I've been yeah, that's the one I want. You can tell I've been doing a lot of exploring and a lot of other bits and pieces in order to get this far through. What do we got here? Perdito. Yeah, I'm just sort of making the aspects as I go. Air, fire. Now, spirit is death and life. So we'll just use that. A water. I said I wasn't going to subject you to this kind of stuff, but you can put up with a little bit. Alright, good. Okay. So, you know, Ichor cloth, and you'll end up with a section of stuff down around here. Now, to make Ichor, it's an infusion enchantment. We'll deal with I'll show you what infusion enchantments are when we get up and running. But just to make some of this stuff, it's a nether star. That's easy, that's easy. This you can only get from killing zombie pigmen in the end, in the nether. And this you get from killing endermen in the end. So it's a bit of a hassle, you know. Have I got some? Yeah, see, I've got 2 of these nether shards and 45 of the ender ones, you know, because I've killed a lot more endermen. But yeah, you get the idea. It's a bit of work. So anyway, I'm gonna, you know, continue with my journey into Thaumcraft and Thaumcraft research, and we'll come back when I've finished the last little bit of stuff. Alrighty. Hey y'all, we're back, and it looks like we've done pretty much everything. Thaumic tinkering. So we go down here, and yeah, so we've got lots of Ichorium stuff to play around with. Lots of funky bits and pieces. I'll let you explore what all of these are just as you read through the book, which I remember I said you should do at least once. Just so you know, the Ichor cloth strapped silverwood wand core, as it says, that's a mouthful. This has a capacity of 1,000, alright, so it's really, really cool. You can do lots of things with it. Now, there is a couple of things that I'm missing down here. There might be other bits and pieces that I'm missing, and a good way to find missing research is you find knowledge fragments, these things. Like I've been picking them up as I find villages. If there's a Thaumcraft tower, there's a village, and what you can do is you arrange them in a block of 9, and only do this when you're pretty sure you've gone through everything, right? Because, yeah, you don't want to be wasting this on stuff that you can find out another way. So you can just sort of grab them, right? There's an unknown research note, and that's turned back into knowledge fragments. So if there was something that you know, a researchable thing that I was missing, I could do that and get the research note for it and do my bits and pieces. So yeah, okay, so we've done all of that. I used up probably about 20 ink refilling my scribing tools there and here. So I'm just going to go and put this in here somewhere. Don't need it anymore. Now, what to do next? Well, there's a couple of things I need to do, alright? The first one is I need to start collecting something called Essentia, alright? Viz and Essentia are kind of similar, except Viz is found in nodes and you use it to recharge wands. Essentia is the same sort of stuff. Like you see here, I've got 15 metallum and 1 instrumentum, I think it is. If I melt this down, I can get 15 metallum Essentia. Okay. Essentia is a liquid form of Viz, or a gaseous form of Viz, that you can use in crafting or bits and pieces like that. So, oh god, unnatural hunger. Okay, this is one of the warp effects. If you get unnatural hunger, eat rotten flesh. It'll probably, yeah, there we go. Hunger begins to fade. So it cuts it down heaps, like by about half a minute each time. But the downside of eating rotten flesh is that you could typically end up with hunger, which makes you go through things faster. 250. Yeah, and you've just got to, you know, sort of work your way through it. Yeah, it's gone. Wonderful. Now I've just got normal hunger. We'll hang on to that. Okay, so getting started with collecting Essentia. Now we're going to need some of these watered jars in order to store Essentia. We need to make this thing, a crucible, you know, the Alchemical Construct and stuff like that, and some pipes and all sorts of other things. You know, so Viz filters and and pipes and Essentia tubes, and yeah, so I'm going to get on with a bit of crafting. A Viz filter is, yeah, so these are the pipes. They need a quicksilver drop. You can look that up in NEI. Viz filter is some gold and silver wood and a bit of shit. So I'm going to start making my little alchemical construct here. No, that's not what I need. That's not what I need at all. I need Essentia distillation. Okay, arcane stone blocks. Stone, yeah. Okay, so this is what I need, alright? I'm going to make one of these alchemical furnaces, and then I'm going to make probably 3 of these arcane alembics. That's a pretty straightforward sort of a recipe in both cases. And I'll come back and just sort of drop in as I do each stage so that you can see what's going on. Alrighty. Alright, first recipe. We need to make this thing, the alchemical furnace. Alright. Requires arcane stone blocks, a normal furnace, and a crucible. Arcane stone blocks are just 8 stone, any kind of shard, a couple of bits. You know, so that's the stone. In order to make the crucible, just take a wand, put a normal iron cauldron on the ground, right click, and it turns into a crucible. And I don't need to scan anything anymore because I've already done all the research. So that goes in the top of my little thing here, and there's our alchemical furnace. Lovely, lovely, lovely. What have we got now? Alright, next up is making 3 of these arcane alembics. Alright, so I'm going to do this, you do the same. Let's get back here when we're done. Okay, we're back. I showed you making the alchemical furnace before. I have gone and made 3 of these arcane alembic things, and these things stack on top of the alchemical furnace. Alright. Now, I've also put, let's grab a chest. A really basic one. And some conduit. Good. I'll put the chest down here, and we'll stick the conduit in behind it. Alright, insert, extract. Okay, so what the furnace is for, right, is it breaks things down into its components. See, like the earth shards, I haven't scanned, so I don't know what they are. Wonderful. Very good. Okay, so this will break the shards down into Terra, Precanto, and I'm not sure what that last crystal-looking thing is. All right. So each one of those shards is going to give me 2 Terra Essentia, 1 Precanto, and 1 of the crystal things. Similar to that, the air gives me 1 crystal, 1 Precanto, yeah, the wand, and 2 of the air, and it's like that with all of them. You know, you get 2 fire, 2 water, 2 order, all that kind of thing. There is a little bit of automation you can do with this thing, and we'll have a bit of fun automating some stuff in a minute. The items that you want to break down need to go in the top slot, and you can pipe them in from the sides. Whatever you're using to power it, like I'm using charcoal because I have plenty of it, and I have, oh my god, so much wood. Oak. I'm actually going to have to shut this farm down because it's producing too much wood, but it was fun to do. Charcoal goes into the bottom of the furnace, so you can see down here I've got some conduits just taking care of that. So we'll just fill this in. All right, good, no worries. So let's if we dump one of these in here, you see, and then there's some stuff here, and that slowly leaks out into, there you go, 2, and that's all of it. Alright, so it slowly leaks out into the alembics. Now, a good habit to get into is, let me get some labels. Let's grab 100 labels. Let's grab 20 labels and be a bit more sensible. Good. Jar labels are a Thaumcraft thing. Recipe is 4 bits of paper. Slime ball and ink gives you 4 of. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shift right click onto, no, not shift right click, just normal right click, and you can see that it's got, like, the label shows what is in it. Alright, so that was pretty awesome. Let's drop all of them in here. Now, I've also made 64 jars. Ten, 11, 12. Good, so we've got a whole wall of jars, alright? Now you can't use a bucket or anything. Oh, and these things have got a capacity of, I think, 32. Alright, so we're slowly cooking up our stuff. You know, we've got a bunch of stuff that needs to be drained out. Hey, silverwood. What do you know? Let's scan that. Well, there you go. You see, this one's at 32 and it's stopped. This one, same. This one, same. Now, what you do to get them out is you use one of these glass files and just right-click. And each file can hold 8 Essentia. So let's go and start putting these in here. Yep, good. And if you break it, it picks it up intact with the jar label and all that kind of stuff. And I've been thinking about it, and I'm actually going to get rid of this bottom row. I've got some stone, wonderful. I'll put some stone in the corner. You have a moment of clarity. Oh, warp effects. And I'm also going to get rid of this top row. Good, 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 good. Because a jar can only hold 64 Essentia. So what I'm going to need to hold the extra files are some barrels. So let's just put these along the top here. Here's my Terra. Wonderful. Alright, so I'll fill up this this jar here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's my basic essences. Yep, very good, very good. Let's go back here. Okay, how are we doing? Yeah, we've got 6 to go. Two, one. Come on, come on. That's it. So they're all done. All the Essentia is in here or in the Alembic. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through and cook up a stack of each kind of shard, and then I'll start cooking up some other bits and pieces, you know, a small amount of other bits and pieces, because I've got a couple of things that I want to achieve. First of all, I want to achieve a golem, right? Now, golems can be made from different materials. You've got wood, clay, stone, thaumium, which is a magic metal, tallow, flesh, and that's all of those 6 are the 6 different types of golems, and they can do more. Like the thaumium golems are the best one to get because they're faster, they're smarter, they can handle more bits and pieces. And then once you've made the golem, which we'll do fairly shortly, you tell it what its job is by using a golem core. Okay, so this one will cut down trees, this one fishes and gets, you know, bits and pieces, this one kills animals, harvests stuff, attacks mobs or strangers. This one will just keep a particular inventory full of stuff. This one will empty things. This one will use items. This one sorts its stuff into various baskets. Decanting keeps a tank full, and then alchemy, which is the one I'm going to use here. I'll make a couple of thaumium golems with an alchemy upgrade and use them just temporarily manage moving Essentia. Like basically what they do, right, is you give them a little glass vial, and they'll come over here to the Alembic and they'll fill up the glass vial, and then they'll fill up some jars. And with the help of some turtles, I can sort of then empty the jars, and it'll make this process a lot easier, because all I can do is just dump a whole pile of stuff in here, let it all process, and you also get to see golems and how they work and how to make them operate. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna keep working away at this, and yeah, see, 64, can't put any more in. Let's just drop them in the barrel. Alright, so that's what I'm going to do. Alright, I'll do this because our goal, don't forget, is we want to be working towards making some... Where is it? Apocrypha, energistics. This is what we want. We want the applied energistics stuff. Now, to make some of this, it's a little difficult, because we need to set up something called an Infusion Altar. And an Infusion Altar is a really funky piece of equipment, but it's a pretty epic piece of equipment. So you'll understand why I'm doing these steps. It's part of the process. Yeah, you get the hang of it. You'll see what it's all about. So I'm going to do this. Okay, that was a very short break. You can see I've done very little over here. But remember, I want to make something called an Infusion Altar, so I've gone to make my, the runic matrix, which is the centerpiece of my Infusion Altar. But making this requires 40 order, and I only have a wand that holds 25, so we need to start doing some wand upgrades. So let's have a look at wands. Let me see now. Great wood wand core, 2 bits of that. Yeah, so this will hold up to 50. And then gold wand caps. Alright. You see the iron wand cap. Basic Thaumcraft. Yeah, the iron one. It takes a bit of a penalty. Yeah, doing stuff with this. See, this should be 40, alright? But instead, because I'm using an iron capped wand, it says 42. Better materials, better results. So let's get rid of this stuff. And let's just put this back in here. An ender pearl. Bubble. Yep, good. Okay, so I want some gold. Yep, and some great wood. And I'll make 2 of them once again. One, 2. Fabulous. Let's see if we can get away with making some of these. No. 2 of those, 1 of those. Alright, 1, and insufficient viz to make the second. Okay, so let's head off and grab some more viz. Okay, starting to process the air shards now. Now the wand stuff will go in here, the crystal stuff will go in there, but nothing's going in the top because I've labelled this as being Terra, and while it's labelled as Terra, nothing else can go in. So let's just take it off, put it back on, and what this means is that we don't end up like we've got a 3 aspects, and each of the alembics is dedicated to one of the aspects. Now, what was I trying to make? Now let's put that back and use one of these and make a second gold wand. And we wanted all of this stuff. This goes in the middle. 4 of these stone blocks. And we've got the runic matrix. What else do we need? Artifice. Arcane stone bricks. Yeah, that's pretty simple. So I'll just grab 8 of those and then a bunch more. And we get an arcane pedestal. 4 of these. Okay, so where are we going to put this thing? Let's put this right here. Now the runic matrix is the center of the infusion construction. It goes on the top. We need one of these pedestals to go directly underneath it. And then in the corners, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then some stone bricks. Good. And actually turning it into the altar requires 25 of each viz, which is one of my fully charged wands. And it won't work because of the viz cost. So let's grab our charged up gold wand, which doesn't have enough. God fucking damn. Okay, we're back. We've been out for a while, charging up all of our wands and things like that. So, oh, what do you know? I got another copy of Crimson Rites while I was out. Fabulous. So this is what we've got. We've got a runic matrix, a pedestal, some bricks, some stone blocks, and this should work. And there we go. Look at that. Looks pretty awesome, doesn't it? Now the reason I put it here is so that it's close-ish to my wall of barrels. When this thing is doing stuff, like let's just go and grab my Thaumcraft and have a look. So this is going to need to draw, in order to work, it's going to need to draw Aqua, Motus and Precantio from the water jars in order to do its thing. And you need to put, I'll show you how to do this particular one because, like I said, I do want a golem animation core, just so I can show you how the golems help out with doing your alchemy. So I am going to get on with a few bits and pieces and see if I can get myself some 8. Yeah, 8 will do me. Alright, so I'm just going to put these right next to here. These are pretty cool. You can stick stuff on them. See? Isn't that lovely? So my Thaumcraft is on a handy little pedestal. It's sitting there. It's all good. Let's just put this here and this here. Alright. So yeah, back to doing this stuff. Air. It's got 64. All good. So I will continue to feed stuff into here. My goal, of course, is to end up with oh, I need thaumium. All right, let's go and look at putting together our next piece of equipment. And that would be this thing, the automated alchemy thing. So I need a crucible and 2 of these alchemical constructies. Ooh, yeah. Okay. Alright. Okay, so once again, I've completely misjudged the length of a video, so I am going to have to cut it off right here, and we'll continue our little journey into Thaumcraft in the next episode. Thanks for watching.